So today I looked at fully making a final design for Samantha's UFO dress in for the sci-fi convention scene where she comes out in, as the script says, a tinfoil dress shaped like a flying saucer. Um, so to do that, I thought about the shape of a flying saucer and how I could maybe emulate that in the shape of a dress. And also, I thought about the materials that I could use, as tinfoil is quite fragile. You can't exactly sew with it, it would just split and disintegrate. So I had to think about that and take that into account. So I looked at different fabrics to see what could maybe give the effect of tinfoil or be alright to be seen through a layer of tinfoil. Like if I used it as a base and then put tinfoil on top of it, if some of the tinfoil moved or broke, would the underneath still look quite shiny, fit with the rest of the tinfoil of the dress? And I found some computer foil fabric, which is very, very shiny and like foil. I think it can be quite difficult to sew with, as it's a stretch and the actual foil part can make it tricky to get it through the machine. But I think if I practice with it um, before I start actually creating the dress, it should make it easier and I can find out what best works for it. I also looked at making a hoop skirt or a shorter version of a hoop skirt and how you might go about that. So I looked at a couple of websites, a lot of images about how hoop skirts are constructed and what is used to make them. And I saw a lot of them, it was just a large skirt with channels put in where either boning or something equally sturdy was put in to let it hold that shape. I thought a hoop skirt would probably give me the ability to make the structure better than anything else I could come up with, as it can make the skirt shape quite round, and I think that would be quite similar to that of a flying saucer. So I then started putting together a list of websites where I could get all of the materials I would need to give to our production manager to purchase. The thing I had to think about then was the amounts of everything I would need, and to do that, I used a tape measure to roughly calculate how much I would probably need. As to the website I was looking at, I had to think about how large the skirt would be. So to do this, I had to add, think about how wide I wanted it at the bottom, like the very widest part, and add that together, and then divide it by the number pi, which is 3.14, and to get the full circumference. And then I also used some of the people around me, just using a tape measure to test out how big it would look on a person and what was too big. So for thinking about how much boning or piping, depending on which is cheaper, I would need, I I measured how big all of the circles I thought would be, and then added that number together, added a little bit extra, just in case I was off or I was wrong, as like a safety buffer. The same with the fabric, and making it a whole number that is orderable. And that was it.